going on, Will Hassett? Welcome back to Broncos Country News. I'm your host and anchor, Caleb Malden. So, the Denver Broncos lose to the Kansas City Chiefs 22-16 on Sunday Night Football in Arrowhead Stadium in December. Now, this is coming off a week where we didn't have a quarterback, we lost to the New Orleans Saints, Kendall Hinton, all that stuff. Which, by the way, thanks NBC for the graphic throwing Kendall Hinton under the bus. That was fantastic. But I would like to throw something out there that the Broncos fan base probably needs to hear. Again, keep this in mind. The Denver Broncos, who are currently 4-8, we were 4-7 when we played, but without two of their best defensive players, no Vaughn, no Bryce Callahan, they just got back Shelby Harris after spending 2 weeks on the COVID reserve list, and he hadn't practiced in 3 weeks. We lost Mike Purcell, by far one of our best run defenders, and an offense that lost Graham Glasgow in the game because he got rolled up on, and we're missing our best offensive player in Cortland Sutton, only lost by 6 to the defending Super Bowl champions. Now, if you look at the box score, you could easily say everything was terrible, that this team got lucky, when actually, this was a great game plan, though the execution was flawed. Here's the thing, Vic Fangio and his defense, let's just start out there. They laid out a great defensive game plan. They held the Chiefs in the red zone. They kept them held down. They allowed only one red zone touchdown, which was fantastic. They kept the Chiefs on their toes. They made sure not to get beat deep. That was their best thing, though they almost did that insane Tyreek Hill play, which I don't know why they didn't challenge it. Well, then again, even Tyreek Hill, even he didn't think he caught it. So by the time they could have challenged it, they'd already elected to punt the ball. That was insane. The run game, they held them as long as they could. The Broncos defense did a great job. When you only give up one touchdown against the Kansas City Chiefs in Arrowhead Stadium, that is a masterful defensive game plan. Vic Fangio, who has put out some pretty good defensive game plans, did a great job. And again, this is without two of his best players. Vic Fangio did a fantastic job. The only problem they had was they couldn't get to Mahomes, and they had problems covering Travis Kelce. Because how do you cover that guy? He's faster than the linebackers who are big enough to keep up with him. He's more athletic than them. And he's bigger than the defensive backs who are athletic enough to run with him. So it's hard covering that guy. And the Broncos did the best they could defensively. I do credit Vic Fangio for doing his best. The only problem I had with Vic Fangio is not going for it on that 4th and 3 when we're at the Chiefs' 50-yard line. Obviously, there's like 6 minutes, less than 7 minutes to go in the ball game. And if you get the first down, you have the ball on their, 45-yard line? With 6 minutes to play, you have a chance to take the lead or to tie the ball game. And there was another play before that impacted that, and we'll get to that in a bit. Offensively, this is where I have my thoughts. So, obviously, the burden was going to lie with Drew Lock in this offense. First drive, they looked like they got something going. Drew Lock throws a beautiful big dime to Noah Fant, and then he responds with throwing an interception, which was fantastic. From that point on, Drew Lock played really solid football. And what I liked about the game plan is that it was the exact same game plan that they had against the Miami Dolphins. We're going to pound the ball down their throat. We're going to use Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay, even though Gordon had the better rush game. We're going to pound the ball down their throat. We're going to force them into our situations, and we're going to make sure we don't get Drew Lock killed a whole lot, though he still got hit a good bunch. Drew Lock threw smart passes after that. He threw 2 touchdowns, including a great touchdown, 2 touchdown passes to Tim Patrick. He seems to have a great connection with him, which is a positive for the Broncos to build on. They did a fantastic job building off that offensive drive. That beautiful red line throw from Drew Lock to Tim Patrick, and Tim Patrick does a great job toe tapping in. This was exactly what the Broncos wanted to do. This is exactly what they wanted to see. Now, Melvin Gordon had by far one of his best games. If only he'd gotten a touchdown or two. He broke out a huge 65-yard run when they needed it. Lindsay really couldn't get anywhere. Like, they dedicated themselves to stopping Phillip Lindsay, whereas Melvin Gordon ran right through them. And now, I did hear people complain, no, Jerry Jeudy didn't get his catches, and of course he tweeted out, at least I got my conditioning in. And while I understand people wanting Jeudy to get his catches, trust me, I'm one of them, I'm one of the people that advocates, yes, he is cool and he is a great receiver and you know you can do stuff with him. Don't force it if it isn't there. Because if you force feed him the football, then stopping your pass game is easy. Drew Lock did a good job spreading it out. He did a great job getting the ball out to guys. Patrick was getting open constantly, so why not throw it to Tim Patrick? And the play that really defined, that kind of killed the game for us, you're down 19-16. The Broncos are driving the ball 3rd and 5. Drew Lock throws a ball to KJ Hamler that is a little out in front, but Hamler gets both his hands on it, and you see the play. He can't quite hook it in, even though he has the catch, and the ball would have been at the Chiefs' 30-yard line. Now you have the ball at the Chiefs' 30-yard line with 6:42 to go. You have a chance to tie the game or take the lead. That was a huge drop late in the game, and the Broncos had a chance to get something there. And I wish that they had gone for that 4th down, though if KJ Hamler catches that ball, we're not even talking about it. But you know what? He's a rookie. He'll learn. At this point, I'm going to say something that is a controversial. Are there moral victories? No. Do I wish we could have won the game and that we had a shot to win it? Absolutely. But it's not like there were no positives to take from this game. The Broncos they had a good game plan. They played it out very well. Shermer even improvised his play calling. He was finally calling screen passes. Who knew that screen passes would work when you have a lot of speedsters on your roster? It meant that the Broncos were finally evolving. Here's the thing. This was a step in the right direction, similar to the Miami game. I can feel confident now that the Broncos are at least taking steps in the right direction under Vic Fangio, because now they're being competitive, they're not backing down from anybody, they're throwing punches, and while they do make mistakes, but is typical of a young roster, the Broncos are getting better. The defense is playing as well as it has, being as decimated as they are in the offense. While I would love to see more points, I can at least say that the results are getting there. They didn't go 3 and out once all night. Constantly throughout the season, when the Broncos did have the ball, they moved it down the field, they got yardage, they played good field position. The Broncos did their job. Now the second interception that Drew Lock threw, come on. It's at the end of the game, 33 seconds to go, 4th and 5, you're at your own 30-yard line. You have no timeouts, you're down by 6. What else are you supposed to do? His only other option is throw it to Tim Patrick, who did have the first down, but he would have had to break for the sideline, which would have taken, another 8-7 seconds off the clock. Plus those 5 seconds, then you're down to 20 seconds, and now you're really cooked. And now you have to throw a Hail Mary, which is going to be a pick or incompletion anyway. That was just Drew Lock trying to throw a ball. I can't really hold that pick against him. He was just trying that. If you're going to play hero ball, that's the time to do it. Just go out there, throw it as you can, try to make a play, get the ball as deep as you can, because Drew Lock knows, hey, if we get a deep completion, we're deep down the middle of the field, spike the ball with maybe 17 seconds to go, get a couple decent-ish plays, kill some time, and then go for the end zone, maybe from a more manageable distance. That was just a quarterback trying to make a play for his team, so I can't really fault him for that. Any other quarterback would have done the same thing. Just throw it as deep as you can at 4th and 5. If it's an incompletion, game's over. If it's an interception, game's over. Either way, you have to try to at least do something with it. It's simply the way it was. The first interception Drew Lock threw was just him trying too hard to play hero ball. And now there is actually a difference between playing hero ball and being stupid. Being stupid is when you throw it deep into triple coverage. That's not playing hero ball. That's like, dude, why are you throwing into triple coverage? What are you thinking? No one would have ever done that. Hero ball, and this is a mistake a lot of young quarterbacks make. This isn't exclusive to him. And not saying that I'm going to make an excuse. I'm just saying hero ball is something that Drew Lock needs to stop doing. He'll roll out of the pocket and he can see that the throw is iffy. That it's not the greatest decision in the world, but he's trying too hard to make a play, so he thinks, let's see if I can do this. Let's see if I can go make this great throw, but he's not there yet. He's not able to make that throw. And a lot of young quarterbacks, when they're trying to prove they're a franchise guy, make that mistake. They try too hard to make a play, they throw a bad pass, and it ends up hurting their team. I would rather have Drew Lock play hero ball now when he can learn and get it out of him, rather than 5 years down along the line where we're maybe in a Carson Wentz situation. I would hope that he gets it out of his system now, and I appreciate him trying to make a play. Just stop throwing those balls, Drew. They're getting us killed. But he also threw 2 touchdowns. He also did a great job moving the ball, helping out Pat Shurmur, I also must say this, is evolving as a play caller. He's finally calling a more balanced game plan. He's realizing more of the strength of his team. He's finally realizing that he can use his weapons the way that fits the offense. He's realizing what Drew Lock's tendencies are, what they are and what they are not good at. They made sure to try to do their best to protect Drew Lock from his own issues and his offensive line's problems. They ran the ball down people's throats. They kept a good balance, called a lot of play action, called some screens that got Drew Lock in a rhythm. The Broncos did exactly what they needed to do to get this offense moving. And it did work. They just missed out on an opportunity to score a touchdown or two that really could have helped them out. And hopefully they'll capitalize on that. But I saw one tweet from that said, if the Broncos play like this, they can win every single game down the stretch. Because now the Broncos know, hey, we can hang with these guys. We can compete with them. If we limit our mistakes, we can compete with anybody. We could play with Buffalo. We have the Carolina Panthers next. If the Broncos play like that and they put more points up on the board, they can beat the Carolina Panthers. And I think that things are growing. Pat Shurmur, again, is finally adjusting his play calling. He's realizing what the strength is of his team. He's finally realizing what his players can and can't do well. He's finally growing. He's allowing Drew Lock to do more of what he's comfortable with. He's letting Gordon and Lindsey be themselves. He is doing what an offensive coordinator needs to do. And to be frank, I am seeing steps in the right direction. Was Drew Lock perfect? No, but he did what was needed. First interception was terrible, and I hold that against him. Dude, please stop trying so hard to play hero ball. Second interception was just a desperation heave. I mean, come on. That was just him trying to make a play at the end of the game when there was practically no hope. So, can't be too mad at him. This is one of the few losses I'm not mad at. Chiefs, hats off to you guys. You played a heck of a game. You hung in tough. It was simply a put of losing to a better team. Simply put, the better team won. This very young, very inexperienced Broncos offense just simply isn't there yet. The only real veteran of this offense who's been here a long time, honestly, is Garrett Bowles. Graham Glasgow, DeMar Dodson, Melvin Gordon are all new adds. They're new to this whole thing and the system. But Bowles has been here for 4 years. Reisner's his second year. Cush is a rookie. Drew Lock, even though he's in his second year, is new to the system. Judy's a rookie. Patrick's in his, third year, and he's new to the system. This team, simply put, is not there yet. And I have seen the reactions to fire Vic Fangio, to draft another quarterback, start up, blow up everything up. I'm looking at you, James Marilat. And simply put, that would be incredibly stupid to do. Because here's the thing, and I think fans need to learn to accept this. This year was never going to be a contender year for the Broncos. As much as we all wanted it to be, and as much as I wanted it to be, reality was this was always going to be a growing pains year. This was going to be growing in a new system, getting used to this. Things were never going to be easy, and frankly, they were probably never going to go our way. We might catch a few breaks here and there, but it would have taken a miracle to pull off this game. In theory, this should have been a blowout. Whether you want to accept it or not, there are positives to take away from this game. This team was very tough. They played hard as hell. They fought like crazy. And there are steps being taken. This team is growing. And I have a feeling that if they can just win a few more games that way, and Drew Lock keeps taking those steps forward, he can cut down the interceptions, keep throwing those touchdowns, keep playing like he's been playing. Shurmur evolves his offense. Things are going to get better, and now we know the steps we can take moving forward. Any steps that need to be taken to get this team in a position where we think they can be successful, they're going to have to take it together. Lock, Fangio, and Shurmur. They're all going to have to do this together. There is a path to success for the Broncos. It's not pretty, it's not flashy, it's not perfect, it's not what we all envisioned it would be, but the path is there. I'm going to say something very blunt, and I'm going to be frank here. I do not give a damn about the record. The Denver Broncos have a path to success. I just wanted to see progression, and even though it is just small steps forward, they are steps forward. Drew Lock is getting better. He just needs to learn to stop playing hero ball. Hopefully he does learn that, and if not, they're going to have to beat it out of him. But after that first interception, he played very well. He played calm. He played collected. He didn't have too many happy feet in the pocket. He scrambled, made plays. Drew Lock did what was needed, including 2 touchdown passes. They called great plays. He ran an efficient offense. I liked seeing Drew having fun with his team, and I'm telling you, the path to success is there. The team is getting better. They just have to trust that it's there. Again, tip of the cap to the Kansas City Chiefs. Y'all played a hell of a game. You guys deserve the win. The Broncos simply aren't there yet, and at this point I'm accepting that. As I said, I don't care about the record. I just wanted to see progression, and I am seeing it. It's not perfect, but it is there. If you wanted, if people seriously think trading for Matt Stafford or Matt Ryan or Sam Darnold would make anything anyway, here's the thing, trading Sam Darnold would almost just be basically sticking with Drew Lock, and that Sam Darnold's had a lot of damage done to him by Adam Gase. You'd have to spend a year undoing that damage, and then you'd have to take it, which would be pretty painful to go through at times, and then you'd have to take the next year to get steps forward, which is honestly worse than just going forward with Drew Lock. Why not just stay the course and let this thing develop? Which would make more sense than bringing another veteran who would have to spend an entire another year learning the system and getting chemistry with his receivers, rather than sticking with a quarterback who at least is getting chemistry with his receivers. He knows these guys, and he's getting better at learning the system. Why not just stay the course at this point? It's called having some damn patience. It's mind-boggling to me that people are so impatient, how they can't look just beyond the stats and the box score and see some of the progression being taken. It's a little infuriating to me. And then some Broncos fans will bully other fans thinking that they're fake or stupid for, simply put, thinking that this team could be something and they need to have patience. It's called a rebuilding year for a reason. I almost don't want to go off into a tangent on the Broncos fan base because I love this fan base, but sometimes they can be some of the most spoiled, impatient, and to be frank, sometimes some of the hot takes and the knee-jerk reactions are a little infuriating. They want to blow up everything, then congratulations, you, in an effort, you said you don't want to be like the Cleveland Browns. Well, in an effort of doing that, you become the Cleveland Browns. You blow everything up, you never let things develop, you become impatient, and as a result, your team never gets better. Welcome to reality of the NFL and rebuilding. This is going to take time, but steps are being taken in the right direction. No, there's no moral victories, but I can live with this loss because the team fought. They're getting better, and I have a feeling if they keep taking steps forward like this and we win a few more games down the stretch and we eliminate some of those small mistakes, this team can be really something in the future. Vic Fangio, I think, has something there. So does Drew Lock, so does Pat Shurmur. Again, it's not pretty, it's not flashy, but any steps that this team is going to take, they will have to take these steps together.